What's up, everybody? Cookie's Garage. Starting a new project today. I shouldn't be starting a new project. I still got the outdoor grill. Outdoor grill's going, got the roof. However, it's 95 degrees outside at 10 in the morning. It's going to be at least 100 today. We're in the middle of a heat wave. So I'm going to be in here. I'm going to turn some fans on. But as part of the Rubicon prep, we're going in T-3 weeks from now. I am going to be replacing the steering box on the 4Runner with this. So the 4Runner currently has an FJ60 box on it, and it's developed a little bit of play in it, even if adjusting this bolt. There's still a little bit of play in it, and actually I developed a little bit of leak up here. I tightened everything down, it's holding now, but it has me worried. So I was gonna go grab a new box. But the problem is with FJ60 boxes, they're gone. You can't really find them. And if you do find them, they're a lot of money. So this is an FJ80 box. Been told the bolt pattern is the same between FJ60 and FJ80. I probably should go verify that before I tear into this, but so the plan is today I'm going to disassemble this box, and we are gonna drill it for hydro assist, put the fittings on, and then reassemble it, and then hopefully get it on the truck next weekend. So that's what we're doing today. Have I done this before? No, I have not done this before. So I've printed out the FSM, and we're just gonna get into it. Alright, so this is the 60 box that's currently on there. Already drilled and tapped for hydro assist. Yeah, it looks the same. So this is the bolt pattern for the 80. I'm gonna need some more precise. I'm gonna get my caliper out. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is the same pattern. I'll go with 80%. Alright, so I'm a little worried about the bolt pattern. It's definitely the same measurement, top to bottom, left to right. However, it looks like these bolts are slightly more there, and those are more there. But I think my box is mounted slightly at an angle, which makes them line up straight. So people on the internet says it's the same pattern. Yeah, I've never been burned by that before, but worst case I have to chop. Worst case I got a lot of work ahead of me. So so yeah, I'm gonna clean this up real quick, lay some paper towels down, and then I'm gonna start disassembling it. Okay, just trying to get this off. It says to keep turning clockwise until it comes off. So I'll trust in the process. By the way, I got this on eBay. It was listed as new. I don't know if I believe that. Maybe it's just reman. But prices were all over the place for these. And I chose one that had a make an offer on it. And submitted an offer for, I think, 160, and next thing I know, it was shipping, so. I bet this whole thing's threaded in there. Yeah, okay. Hoping I don't get flagged for copyright for this music in the background, but this is OMA live in Tokyo. If you haven't heard them, go check them out. They're all instrumental. Yeah. Said there'd be an O-ring. That definitely one didn't come off. Okay. Trying to follow directions, but you know how that works. Also trying to stay organized for once in my life. Let's see how long that lasts too. Okay. I have no idea what happened to my rubber mallet. So we're gonna use a welding glove and a steel mallet. Mark. I don't know if this is going to help. Yeah, it's probably not going to do anything. It is a Land Cruiser part. That is not a Jeep part. Safer there. Okay. There's some gross looking fluid coming out of it. So the manual says to turn the valve body clockwise that way while holding the worm gear with your finger so that it can't move. So I remember watching a video where basically stuff can fall apart and you want to hold it all nice. Not sure what I'm supposed to be doing, but so I don't know what's going on. I've looked at a couple other videos and everybody's got a port right here for the plunger, and that's worrying the crap out of me. think this is just a bleed. Yeah, this is... I'm hoping there's not something in there holding this in place, but we're gonna keep hitting things until it comes off. Why am I using this one? I doubt there's anything in here, but this is just the high pressure and low pressure ports. Which doesn't want to move. Wow. Maybe I did want this guy. There we go. Yep. Okay, so my biggest fear is they say if you do this wrong, a bunch of ball bearings are going to fall out everywhere and you'll cry like a little girl. So I don't feel like crying today. Let's try to do this carefully. Yeah. Okay. No whammies, no whammies. We are out. Nothing fell out, nothing bad happened. We now have an empty case, which we're going to now drill some holes in. I believe the holes I have to drill have to be somewhere in this vein here. I think it's right about here. There's no Toyota with a D on the FJ80 boxes. So I believe it's here and somewhere along this flat plane here. So I'm thinking I'm going to go look at my FJ60 box because that's where they're drilled. And if that's where they're drilled, that's where I'm going to drill. And we'll hope for the best. Okay. Alright, so we're back looking at the current 60 box. So there's the high pressure, low pressure. And yeah, looks like right on the top of that vein, just behind that bolt. And then right along here on the little flat spot here. So I'm going to do exactly what they did. PSC built this one for me like 12 or 13 years ago. So I trust they know what they're doing. So let's copy what they did. We'll do that. So these are number 6 JIC AN, that's the same pitch as AN, and 1/4 inch NPT. The depth that I drill is what's worrying me right now. So I'm going to look that up before I actually start drilling. I'm just going to mark. Same thing. Looks like it'll clear. Alright. Marked. Alright, sorry about the noise. It's a little loud here with the fans going. It's pretty hot outside. So I'm going to drill the first one. And yeah, when you drill, you don't want to drill all the way through. So then apparently your box is toast. So a lot of the guides tell you that. This is a pretty good picture of this hole right here is the vein that we're trying to tap into apparently. So I have a drill bit stop. I'm going to try to hit it just like that. Not go too far into it. Definitely don't want to go through it. But so this is a much smaller bit than what I'm going to use. So I'm going to recheck the alignment of where I'm drilling. Hopefully I hit it and don't ruin this box. So there we go. Scary, scary, scary. Okay, we did it. I did not have a drill stop that fit 7/16. So if you do buy drill stops, make sure you get one that'll handle 7/16. I don't know why I didn't buy bigger ones, but the way it was. Brought out the shop vac. So I was vacuuming. I drill a little, vacuum, drill a little, vacuum. You can see the vein. You get a light. You can see the vein. I hope that'll come out. In there. Yeah. So we definitely got it. We're in there. I could probably go a little deeper. I don't know. I think I'm going to play it pretty conservative on this one. So, alright, so let's get the tap out. So, moment of truth. Alright. Well, it's close. I'll have to make sure I get that as tight as possible. I do have hydraulic thread lock, so I think I'll thread lock that one. But yeah, okay. We are good with that one. That's 3 turns. Good. Anything over 2 is good. Alright, now for cleanup. Okay, so I stopped filming like an idiot, and because I was just kind of in a get her done mode. Followed the directions as best I could. I still need to determine center to get the pitman arm set up. That'll probably be a lot of trial and error on the truck. We got this adjusted pretty good. May need to tighten it here. It looks like it's further down than what it was when it came, which worries me. Still got to put that port on. I believe it's probably just a bleed port. But I have both the hydraulic fittings drilled and tapped all in. Wish I'd picked fittings that weren't as long so they'd bottom out a little better, but I mean, they're in tight. They're not going anywhere. I also used Loctite 545. I bought this a million years ago. It's hydraulic fluid safe. You can use it on brake components, so it should be fine for power steering. But yeah, so next is yeah, it's together. So yeah, next we're gonna do, I cleaned it out as best I could. Some spray cleaner, used a vacuum, used a wire brush, used a little bit of the good stuff, the Swepco, which actually, do I have it handy? And this is the old style bottle. This is probably what you're used to seeing if you use this stuff. This is what PSC recommends to use. This is what Trail Gear even recommends to use on their pumps. This is what it looks like now. So they actually, like, PSC branded it. It's the same stuff, different bottle. So having Summit Racing nearby really, really helps. But this stuff is expensive. It's $15 a quart. So hopefully I can do it in 2 quarts. I have 3 just in case, but so yeah, next shot will be, we're gonna bring the 4Runner in here. It's still hot. It was 104 today, so I'm gonna bring it in Saturday morning, get cracking on it. We'll get the FJ60 box off the 4Runner. Try not to make a huge mess. I'm a little worried about getting the pitman arm off. I think I have a puller. I should probably check that out soon. Getting this on, getting the steering wheel aligned, and getting the pitman arm aligned is what I have a feeling is going to take the most amount of time. Got the FJ60 box off. Made a little mess with the fluid. I drained the reservoir, so could have been a lot worse. Got the box off, and then my biggest worry, one of my biggest worries was, yes, the bolt pattern is different. This bolt is slightly that way, this bolt is slightly that way. It is incredibly close to whatever the 60 had. 60 is, I think, yeah, it's close. I enlarged 2 of the holes here. I think best case is I'm going to get 3 bolts to work. Probably a 4th won't work, or I can put a thinner bolt through there somehow. The frame is sleeved, so I can't really just re-drill it too easy. So I'm going to get to that. Second one is, you may notice the Borgeson adapter is still on here because it is seized on. I actually had to unmount it from this side, use the air hammer to get it off. I guess I forgot that these were steel when they do rust. I don't know if there's a coating on it or not, but this booger's on there. I've had it soaking in PB Blaster for the last 20 minutes or so. I'm going to heat it up and try to get it off again. Getting a replacement one of these, I mean, 1, they're $90, but 2, I can't find anyone that has one that can get it to me in time. So yeah, I'm going to do my best to get this guy off, or maybe there's another brand that makes one. Not sure yet. As far as size-wise, doesn't look like it. The 80 is, this is bigger. I think the diameter of this is a little bigger. This sticks out a hair more. And I think it's actually, think it's actually taller from this spot up. So I got to do a little trimming on the truck to make it fit. That's the least of my worry right now. So I'm going to go back to yelling at this thing until it comes off. Did have good luck. Summit Racing. I was searching for the wrong part number. They had it. It was $80, but look at that. So anyone wondering, this is the 11/16 by 36 spline. If you go on Borgeson's site and you're looking for universal joints, they have a 17mm option. Hit that. This is what comes up. And then this, I have the 3/4 D shaft on, I think, the driver's side, and the 1-inch D shaft on this side for it. So I've sprayed this once with clear coat. I'm gonna hit it again, and then I'm going to put a lot of anti-seize on it so that doesn't happen again. Had an issue. I also tried turning this, and it was only turning one rotation. Apparently when I put it back together, I didn't have it centered. So yeah, I did skip a step to determine center. So anyway, took this part off, recentered it, got it back on. Now I just need to adjust this, torque these 4 bolts, and I think the box is ready to be brought back over to the truck, where I have to deal with the bolt pattern now. I did trim a little bit. Sorry. So took a little off. It was pretty hard to work on it before, so this will help. So yeah, messy job. Well, this is why you don't believe everything on the internet. So the 60 and 80 box, they are not identical. I think the 60 box I had the odd bolt pattern. This may be the standard bolt pattern, but if you can see, just a little off on the bottom bolts. Luckily, I think I can get like a 7/16 grade A through there, through the sleeve, and get a bolt in, no problem. Or is it 3/8? I think it's 7/16. Probably 3/8 actually, now I think about it. Okay, so anyway, I can get a grade A bolt through there. These top ones line up, no problem. But there's no problem. The input. The input is closer this way than the 60. So it's actually, it's pretty much hitting my shock mount, so I'm not going to be able to get a coupler over that unless I notch the shock tower, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to notch the shock tower. There's plenty of beef on this thing behind it and actually inside it and everywhere else. So I'm just going to cut a circle out of there, give myself a lot of clearance. That should work. I'm going to need the plasma to probably do that, which means I'll have to stuff a fire blanket in everywhere to protect the shock and protect the engine and all that. And I have not used my plasma in a year or two, so this just became a tomorrow problem. So yeah, the good news is the pitman arm does fit. This looks like it sticks down lower than the original. Maybe it's just because I don't have the pitman arm in. Actually, it's probably about the same. Maybe, I don't know. It may stick down a little lower. I don't think that's going to cause any clearance issues, but I should probably figure that out now while I can. But anyway, yeah, this is when you modify stuff, you run into problems like that. So yeah, it keeps getting a little worse. Because the input shaft from the steering wheel is shifted over a little bit, it's now making contact with all sorts of goodies, so I had to end up pull the lower mount of the coil over, which means dropping the axle, which is, anyway, This is starting to spiral, but I'm committed.